really the Quran is confused about who God is, who Allah is, you know, because for example, like Allah's supposed to be the only one who like is the creator of life and stuff like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, Allah is the creator of all.
Allah is the creator of life. So I mean, I'm a little confused about who God is because the Quran says that Jesus creates life as well. A matter of fact, actually, Allah Himself says that He's the best of creators. So there's many creators out there. I'm just so confused on who God is.
How many creators are there, man?
Do I get to speak now? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Respond to that.
When it comes to creator or love, God gave humans some of His attributes. Like
His attributes.
Why you guys take it easy? Like, let me speak. I said when it comes to attribute, God doesn't have a problem giving some of His attributes like to humans.
So I could say I am the truth.
He gave us mercy and He gave us the ability to create. It's not wrong to say that Steve Jobs created the iPhone. It's not a problem.
Not the same thing.
And Jesus, when it comes to Jesus creating, it says by the leave of God, bi'iznillah. It doesn't say that Jesus created on His own.
So Allah is not the only one.
5:30, that He cannot do nothing by Himself.
So Allah is not the only one who creates life, right?
Huh?
Allah is not the only one who creates life, right?
Jesus didn't create life by the leave of God.
Did Jesus create life?
No, bi'iznillah. He blew into a thing and it became alive by the leave of God.
Who blew into the thing? Who blew into the thing?
It's called divine agency. God,
who blew into the thing?
Jesus.
Okay, so Jesus blew into the bird, and what happened as a result?
It became a bird by the leave of Allah.
So Allah gave Jesus permission to create life?
No, Allah told Jesus to blow into the thing, and
He didn't tell him to do that.
He did that. Huh?
It never says that Allah told him to do that. It says that He did it. It says Allah gave him. It says He does it by Allah's permission. So by Allah's permission, Jesus created life. Is that correct?
No, by the leave of Allah.
Right. By the permission of Allah, He created life. Right.
Yeah, just like by the leave of Allah, Moses parted the sea.
All right, good. So then, how many creators do you have then?
A Muslim once said that Jesus could create a bird only by the permission of Allah. But here, a deep theological tension arises. Why? Because the Qur'an itself uses the verb akhluqu, which literally means I create. This verb comes from the root khalaqa, the very same root used for God's own act of creation. In Arabic, khaliq means creator, and its plural khaliqan appears in the Qur'an when Allah is called ahsan al-khaliqan, the best of creators. So when the Qur'an places the word akhluqu on the lips of Jesus, it is, in effect, situating Him within the very realm of divine action. The phrase bi-idhni Allah, by Allah's permission, is added as a theological safeguard. Yet that safeguard cannot erase the fact that in the Qur'anic text, Jesus is performing an act of creation. And here lies the paradox. If only Allah creates, then why is Jesus also creating? Does this not imply two creators? Muslims will quickly answer, no, Isa only creates by permission. But the text itself presents two agents of creation, both called Khaliq, Allah and Jesus. This raises the sharp question, if Allah is the best of creators, and yet another also creates, then how many creators does Islam really have? Is this pure monotheism, or is there an underlying logic of polytheism hidden within? The contrast becomes even clearer when we turn to the Bible. John chapter 1 declares, all things were made by Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made. Paul in Colossians chapter 1 affirms, all things were created by Him and for Him. Here there is no compromise, no safeguard, no hesitation. Jesus Christ is the true and absolute creator, one with God, from all eternity. So when the Qur'an attempts to borrow the apocryphal story of Jesus creating, it adds the phrase, by Allah's permission, to preserve its doctrine of Tawheed. Yet the result is a dilemma. The Qur'an admits more than one creator, while insisting there is only one. And so the apologetic question remains, is Islam truly monotheistic, or has it, perhaps without realizing, acknowledged a plurality within the act of creation itself?
I told you,
How many
God
crazy?
gives
Should I,
his
should I take it
attributes.
easy on you? Should I take it easy on you?
We are
No,
just applying,
you're
we're
not
just
doing
applying the
anything.
same
I
logic.
gave you a straight answer. When it comes to love, Allah is the owner of love. He gave us some of that. But when it comes to
But we're
creating,
just
Allah,
applying your logic. You just told us that people are
Allah is the best
confused.
of creator. He
You
gave
just
you
said
the
that, you
ability
just said
to create,
Christians are
to form.
confused because the
It
Bible
doesn't take away from
uses the
Allah.
word Elohim loosely by referring to everyone as God. But yet you don't have a problem suddenly when the Quran itself explicitly says that Jesus himself took a bird or formed formed from clay a bird, and then he breathed into it and it became a living
And
bird.
the Quran says he didn't do it. He didn't do it by his own power.
That's
It's
not what
by
it
the
says.
power of God.
That's not what it says. It
Just
says
like
he did it
Yeah,
by Allah's permission. That's what it says.
exactly.
So he can do it.
He
Whether it's
said the
with Allah's
word in
permission or not is
Arabic is
irrelevant.
bihiznillah. It means by the power of God.
So, okay, so
Well,
Allah can allow somebody else to create life as well then.
I mean, Allah can give somebody else love. They could be love. Somebody else justice. Jesus, the
you're-
attribute of God.
So
He's
you're
the
saying that
creator.
Allah gave Jesus the attribute of creating life.
He gave him the power to blow in a bird, and the bird became alive. Yes.
So Jesus created that bird, right?
Jesus didn't create no bird.
Look
By
at
the
you,
power
look
of God,
at you.
Jesus created the bird.
Look at you.
What are you
You
saying?
just said that Jesus is the one who created it by Allah's leave. That
Yeah, by
Allah
the power. He
shared,
didn't do it on
Allah
his own
shared his
power.
attribute with Jesus, but for some reason you don't want to say the final thing. So since
What's
Allah
the
gave
final-
Jesus his attribute of creating,
Listen to
Jesus
yourself.
is the one who created that bird, right?
What I'm saying is, with
That's not
the
it.
help of Allah, Jesus created the bird.
Okay, so Jesus created life.
Yeah, with the help of Allah. He didn't do it.
He said, "Yeah."
So he's a creator. He's
he's a
a
creator.
creator.
He's a creator. No, he's not a creator. He is
Oh, no, now
creator.
he's
He
not
said he
a-
created.
Huh? I mean, he's not the creator. He's a creator just like Steve Jobs.
He's
He's
not
the creator of iPhone.
He's not the creator. He's a creator, right?
Why is the
That's
Yeah,
Quran,
he's
why is the
a
Quran, why is the
creator
Quran
among-
confused? Why is the Quran confused here and talks
I'm
about
so
different
confused,
people being
man.
creators?
I'm so confused.
Nobody's
Who's the
called
creator?
Allah. Nobody's called God. in the
AP, who
Quran.
are we supposed to worship? Who are we supposed to worship, AP, when there are so many creators?
I don't know, man. There's one creator, there's the other creator. It just loses the word create. It uses the word creator so loosely, and everyone is confused
I'm
about who
confused.
creates.
And who should that bird worship?
The bird should
Obviously,
worship himself.
obviously his creator, which
We
is
don't know.
Jesus. So the bird
Jesus
should be
created him.
worshiping
You
Jesus.
should worship Jesus. Yeah, there's at least one being out there that worships Jesus.
Whenever that bird tweets, it tweets Alhamdulillah Yeshua.
Like I said, Jesus, on his own accord, he couldn't create anything. Allah gave him the power by his leave. He was able to create a bird.
So both
I don't
Allah,
know.
both Allah and Jesus created that bird.
Allah, with the help of Allah, Jesus.
Allah with the help of Jesus,
No, with the help of Allah.
Oh, so Allah with the help of Allah.
The story of Jesus in the Quran, especially the scene where he creates a bird out of clay, does not appear in the canonical Gospels. Instead, it closely parallels apocryphal traditions that had already taken shape much earlier, around the 2nd and 3rd centuries. One of the main sources is the Infancy Gospel of Thomas, a non-canonical text that tells of the miracles of the young Jesus. In it, Jesus shapes birds from clay and brings them to life. Such stories circulated widely among Greek and Syriac-speaking Christian communities, read devotionally, and quickly spread into Arabia through trade routes, monastic centers, and the Christian community of Najran in the south as well as groups in the north. The world of late antiquity was fertile ground for the spread of these narratives. Arabia was not isolated. It was in direct contact with Jewish and Christian traditions from Syria, Palestine, and Ethiopia. Syriac Christians used harmonized gospel texts like Tachan's Diatessaron, while apocryphal stories, saintly legends, and even the Alexander Romance were part of the same cultural bloodstream. It is no surprise, then, that these motifs lived on in oral traditions familiar to Muhammad and his followers. When the Qur'an adopts the clay bird story, the narrative is not left neutral. It emphasizes that the miracle occurs bi-idhni Allah, by the permission of God. This theological safeguard deliberately restricts the high Christological implications of its earlier sources. In this way, the Quran takes a story already popular in its environment and reshapes it to fit the framework of Islamic monotheism and prophethood. Scholars often describe this process as recasting, old stories refashioned with new meaning to serve theological aims and communal identity. Historically, this shows that the Quran stands within the narrative ecosystem of late antiquity. It speaks to an audience already steeped in Jewish and Christian traditions, positioning itself as the true voice of revelation, while correcting and redefining those stories. What emerges is not the creation of entirely new narratives, but the reinterpretation of long-circulating material. Through this process, Muhammad, via the Qur'an, integrated apocryphal traditions into the religious and political framework of early Islam, strengthening communal identity and asserting his prophetic authority in the face of Jewish and Christian communities in Arabia.